Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a 45 ACP ballistics gel test. Today we're going to be testing the Sig Sauer V Crown 230 grain and the Nosler ASP 230 grain jacketed hollow point, and we're going to be testing them out of a government profile 1911. Now, both of these rounds look good. Both of these are coming from well-known companies. I expect both of these to do perfectly good in the gel. Now I'm going to get the chronograph set up and we'll see what they do. Alright y'all, I got the chrono set up here. We're going to try 5 rounds of that Sig 230 grain V Crown. $812, $892, $878, $877, and $872. Alright y'all, I got the chrono reset. Now we're going to try 5 rounds of the Nosler ASP 230 grain jacketed hollow point. $840, $856, $871, $838, and $853. Alright y'all, so both of those perform pretty similar in regards to velocity, which is about what you would expect from a 230 grain 45 ACP. It's been around, been loaded for so long. This is about the performance you can expect unless you get into some really high priced boutique loads. But anyway, I'm going to get this chrono moved out of here, get y'all set up with the gel, and we're going to try them out. Alright y'all, I got the ballistics gel set up down here. We've got the FBI's heavy clothing barrier, which is a layer of denim, 1 layer of fleece, and then 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And I've got that followed by 10% FBI ballistics gel. Now up first, we're going to test that Sig V Crown 230 grain hollow point. Alright y'all, that was a good hit on the block. I've got the gel reset. Now we're going to go try that 230 grain Nosler ASP. Alright guys, so that was a good hit on the block, but in transition to the second block, that round has disappeared. So I'm going to flip these blocks 180, hit it more center mass, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright y'all, I got the gel flipped around here. Now we're going to go back to 7 yards, try this 230 grain Nosler ASP again. Alright y'all, I've got the gel reset again. The same thing happened again. It hit the block, slowly curved to the left, and went out in between the first and second block. So we've got it reset. We're going to try one more time. Alright y'all, I got the gel reset again because I did the same thing. I pulled it to the left, it tracked left, disappeared between the first and second block. I'm going to try this again. Hopefully we get a good solid test. Alright, I finally was able to catch one in the gel. Now we're going to start with measuring it, and then we will go to the Sig and measure it. Now firstly, we entered. Didn't care about the close in any of the shots. Got a pretty wicked wound channel up until about 5 inches, and then the wound channel slowly peters out. Part of that could be because it's so close to the bottom of the table, but I'm going to bring you around to the other side, show you the other wound tracks, just in case it being so low in the block affected anything. But I just really wanted to catch one of these so we could get a retained weight. Now I'm going to get you moved around to the other side of the block, and we will look at some of the other wound tracks from the ASP. Alright guys, I got you pulled around to the other side so we can look at these other 2 tracks for the ASP. Now this bottom one, same thing, comes in, opens up till about 5 or 6 inches, just big old nasty wound track. Kind of peters out, And about 12 inches, I've got a mark on the gel where it kind of bounced off of it as it exited. Couldn't find it. This is the retake right here. Entered, expanded beautifully out here to that same point, 5-6 inches, slowly peters out. And it actually entered the second block and came out right at the 12-inch mark. I looked and could not find this projectile. But I'm going to get these blocks flipped around and we're going to check out that Sig 230 grain. Alright y'all, I got you flipped around to the other side. We're looking at that Sig V-Crown 230 grain. Now it looks very similar to that ASP. Entered, good big old wound track up until that 5 or 6 inch mark. Slowly peters out, and it's hard to see because it's behind one of those ASP's wound tracks. But it's got just very little disruption until where it rests right here, touching 13 inches it looks like. Now, that's very good performance out of both of these. I'm going to get these pulled out of the gel, and we're going to get a retained weight and an expansion on them. Alright guys, I got you pulled back here in the shade. We got the scale set up. We're going to see what the retained weight on that 230 grain Sig V-Crown is. Retained weight of 234 grains. So I'm going to say that's no loss. You can count that extra weight to that gel that's trapped under the petals right there. Now let's see what this 230 grain Nosler ASP is looking like. That one's sitting at 233.6, so I'd call that one no loss also. Any extra weight I would attribute to factory tolerance and that little bit of gel under the petals. Now I'm going to measure the expansion on this Sig. Looks like we've got 668, 665, and 6.680. That's pretty good. And that Sig V-Crown opened up real nice. Got these real sharp pieces of copper. Looks exactly like they all do. Now we've got that Nosler ASP. Wow. We've got 0.705 inches. 0.712 inches. Then we've got 695 for that last measurement. And that Nosler ASP looks real nice. Now, I believe both of these performed very well. I don't see why either of these wouldn't perform out of an inch or two shorter barrel length. Of course, I would personally watch some other gel tests if you can find a video of them. See if they operate out of a shorter barrel length. I wish I could test it myself, but I've only got the one barrel length and I do not have the disposable funds to just go out and buy a new gun for this young YouTube channel, I guess. But anyway, that's all I've got for today. Just a couple updates, PSAs, whatever you want to call them. I've got 2 more pistol rounds planned for this round of ballistics gel, and then we're going to finish it off with a 5.56 ballistics gel test out of a 16-inch barrel. So keep your eyes out for that. That'll be coming up in the next week or two. But hopefully y'all liked it and enjoyed. Leave your thoughts, reactions in the comments below. If you leave a like or subscribe or leave a comment, that helps me grow, helps more people see the channel, and that would be much appreciated. But until next time, folks, we'll see you.